Hey guys. Sorry we're a couple of minutes late. We just had to set it all up for today. How's everyone doing? It's Monday today. We've finally got a show on a Monday after all these last couple of weeks of shows at different times, different days. So did everyone have a good weekend? You can go and see live music. I know a couple of the Country Kickback people went to Travis Collins and we did a couple of lives from there. And there's been a few other things on around the place. Let us know who you saw. I can't see the comments, so just bear with me, see if I can get them up. Let me know if you're there so I can know. Hi, Darren. Hi, Beck. Hi, Cameron. Magnificent Monday. Yes, it's been a long Monday today, hasn't it? I've been chasing my tail today, actually. That's why my messages have been slow. What music did you see over the weekend, Cameron? Anything? I just finished watching the Casey Barnes live. He's got an album coming out. There's so many new musics coming up in the next few weeks. So keep an eye on everyone's page. And if not, keep an eye on our page at Country Kickback. And there's lots of new singles coming out. We're trying to share them. Hi, Darren. How are you? Have you made it home yet through all that traffic? Anyway, so tonight we've got Michelle Cashman joining us. She's got a new single coming out this week, and we want to have a chat to her about that and where you can pre-order it. You stayed home this weekend. Nice quiet weekend, Cameron. What did I do? I can't even remember. I really can't. I don't know what I did. I did something. I went and caught up with Shane from Scarlett's Way on Saturday. That's what I did. That was this weekend just gone. And then I had Sunday at home doing housework. So it was a good weekend. Anyway, we might welcome Michelle into the room. Hi, thanks for joining.
Hello, thanks for having me.
We made it. We got here.
Yeah, I'm having a few technical difficulties.
That's all right. It's all part of the fun. Oh, you've had a busy day. So what we thought we might do is for people that haven't heard you yet singing or been to a live show, tell us a little bit about music and why you got into music.
Oh, why I got into music. I didn't do it deliberately, but I was little, really little, and I still remember being at a park and I reckon I would have been 4 or 5, and I found myself down the bottom of one of those slippery dips, the ones that are fully enclosed like a tunnel. Yeah. And I'm down the bottom of it singing Wind Beneath My Wings. And I just started making friends with grown-ups because, the older kids that were hanging out at the park or whatever, they're like, oh, here's this little girl and she's singing these amazing songs. Wow, and all that feedback, I guess it becomes a bit addictive, really. You're like, oh, I can do something and people like it. Yeah, so that was probably the beginnings. And then I started getting my babysitters to point their lamp, I'd make them hold the lamp and point it at me while I sang and danced on the coffee table.
You didn't get in trouble for dancing on the table?
No. This coffee table that we had it had seen better days, this coffee table, and it had been graffitied all over. So it was definitely nothing that I was going to get in trouble for.
And from there on, it just started. Was your family musical?
I wouldn't say that my family's musical, in the sense that anyone played an instrument. Nobody played an instrument, but my grandfather is Scottish, and his and my grandmother sort of had an English background as well, and they used to all get together at these big family functions, only a couple of times a year or whatever, but I would always find myself hanging around because they'd start to sing all of these old songs at the end of the night and then have all these just sing-alongs, and, someone would just start singing and then eventually everybody would come in. And so I guess in that way, I got to experience what the kind of community that music can create.
Yeah. So you've had everybody around you just enjoyed it. Becca's asked a question. Do you still enjoy dancing on tables?
Oh, I can see that. Good. That just popped up on my screen. It's been a while. That's all I'm saying.
We might have to fix that next time.
Next time I go out, I'll be sure to jump up on the nearest table.
On social media. We want to see.
I'm sure it won't be as cute.
Won't be as cute as when you
It
were
won't
young.
be as cute as that 5-year-old Michelle.
I bet Beck would get on a table with you with her
Yeah.
boots.
Yeah, well, we do both like our boots a lot, so we could just get our matching boots and pretend it's an actual thing.
You could do it, yeah. Or you could just do a display, all your different boots, different songs, different boots, all on the table. I don't think Beck has enough time with her collection.
I know.
End of the month, she wants to see it.
Yeah, no, mate. It's not going to happen.
We'll wait and see.
I'm hard pressed to get on a dance floor, let alone on a table.
Oh, Robert's tuned in and he's saying good evening. Hi, June. Everybody's tuning in, so hi, everyone. So from there, you obviously started to learn an instrument at some point. How old were you when you first started?
14. So my uncle had this guitar that was just this really dodgy old thing that my mum put on the wall as a decoration. And I thought, oh, well, how about we get that down and put some strings on it? And I started to learn and I started to teach myself. And it's not like, these days where you can learn by looking at videos on the internet or stuff. I had to go to the library and buy a book that had like diagrams of where to put your fingers. And I started, teaching myself. And as soon as I had 3 chords that I could play 3 or 4 chords, I started writing songs.
Yep, you're set.
Yeah.
Do you sing any of those songs that you wrote when you were young?
No. I've got to say my ability to write songs has definitely improved with time.
And same with your dancing skills?
I was probably less inhibited as a small child. More confidence, that's for sure.
More confidence. Oh, dear. So from there, you obviously started writing songs and practicing and you continued on. How old were you when you first got on stage in front of a real crowd, not your light and your babysitter?
Yeah, so not forcing people to hold lights and shine them at me.
Someone that was choosing to be there, yeah.
Yeah. My first time on stage was actually, if you don't count school, was when I was 14, and it was at the local bowling club. They had Jim's Country Show, and I sang the only song that I knew that they had a backing track for, which was The Rose, again by Bette Midler. And
never stopped.
There's a photo of me doing that performance, and it's on my nana's wall, and you can practically see me shaking. Like I was singing, and it was like that the whole way through. So thankfully now, I don't know how it's happened, but over time, I don't shake when I'm nervous. My hands sweat instead. So that's good, but I might drop a pick occasionally.
Oh, wow. See, I'd be the shaker and I would knock everything off the stage with my shaking. Something would go really wrong.
Yeah. Well, can I say I'm really, really glad that whatever happened to channel that nervous energy to make me not actually vibrate on stage. I'm really grateful for that.
It's just practice,
Yeah. And the more you do it, I suppose. But, I always have some form of nerves. I think, when you care about stuff, you're going to, and, I want to get it right. But, yeah, I think I tend to, my hands sweat. There's not as many telltale signs. People can't tell as much. I think the nerves don't go away as much as your ability to hide them does.
Yeah, that's right. You're better at pretending that you're fine.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the single that you've got coming out this week. I think it's released on March 6th, so it's up.
Yeah, so it's it's been out on radio for nearly a week, I think. Beck, you'd know that. And it's available for actual downloads this Friday.
Yes. Yeah. And people can pre-order it now?
Yes, they can pre-order it now from iTunes and I think Google Play. Yeah.
Yes, Google Play and iTunes. Great. So we can probably get some links and pop them in the comments at the end of the show maybe for people if they haven't already jumped on and pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the song, because it's a pretty powerful message that you've got in the song.
Yeah. So I actually wrote this song, I think it'd be about maybe 6 years ago. And what had happened was, it's actually got to be more, because I remember where I was when I heard it. So it's actually over 8 years ago now when I think back, because I remember I was standing in my lounge room and I was living in Sydney, and my auntie told me about a mutual friend of ours, and that that she was experiencing domestic violence, and my response to that internally, like, was just leave, get out. You have to leave. You can't stay. You don't stay. Why stay? And it was huge, my response. But that was on the inside, because I knew from my own experience from, I'd grown up with a bit of domestic violence, and as a young adult experienced it from that side. But I knew firsthand that telling someone what they should do forcefully doesn't actually make them feel supported. What it makes them to do is that they further kind of doubt what they're doing, and then when they do decide, they feel like they don't have anyone to support them. So I was like, okay, so I can't do that. What can I do? What is it that I can do in this situation? And as a songwriter, the thing that I do best is write songs. So I took some of my own experiences and amalgamated them into a song.
Yes.
Yeah. 20 minutes later, the song was born.
20 minutes is all it took.
Yeah. Wow. Someone said to me, how long does it take you to write a song? And I'm like, between 20 minutes and 5 years.
It takes you 20 minutes to write it, then 8 years to release it.
Yes, that's right. But it's also, it might be 20 minutes that the song comes out, but it's, it might be 20 years of life experience that it comes from. It doesn't come from nowhere. So
absolutely. Now, have you been playing that song since you first wrote it, or have you only started playing it recently?
No, I've been playing it. I've been playing it for years. So, yeah.
And what's the response you get from people with that song and that message? Because it's a really good song to listen to. It's a fun song to listen to, but it's a really good message. Like, it's
I think so. I that's why I chose it as my first release. Because I thought it was important, but I thought that it's one of those songs that you listen to and it recharges your battery, even if you're not in that situation. Like, it's a little bit of an anthem-y sort of song. But what was the question?
Is how are people reacting to that?
Great. It's had great feedback. A lot of men like it as well as women, which I found, surprising. I've got to be really careful where I look in the room when I say guys like you, and make sure that I'm kind of giving my girlfriends the eyeballs so that they know that this is for us, but it's not aimed at that particular man. But yeah, it's had some really great feedback, and a lot of people, whether it's a man or a woman, we've all often, a lot of people have had that experience that they've been in a relationship that is not healthy and it's just not right. And, the best thing to do is to leave in those situations.
Yeah. 100%. I think a lot of us have been there, and 100% it is better. It's hard to get through, but when you're on the other side, it is 1,000 times better. Why keep yourself?
Yeah, you look back and you're like, I'm absolutely fine. I doubted that I'd be fine. How did I doubt that?
I'm not just fine. I'm so much better. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because you don't realise that, it doesn't usually start off as toxic as it ends up. And it creeps up over time, and your energy levels go, and you're doubting your own confidence and stuff like that. But once you've had some time again on your own, all of those resources that you used to have, like your energy and your freedom and your clarity of mind, it all comes back.
Yeah, all comes back, and you sit there going, no, I'm never going back to that. So, I've got a lot of friends at the moment going through similar situations, and all my advice is ever is do what's right for you and get out if that's what you want, because you won't look back once you're through it. But I think this would be much better. I'll just hand them your album next. I'll get your
I found a song for you.
Yeah, something for you. This will fix everything. Just have a listen.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. I'm just hoping that those people who are, just on the edge of do I stay, do I go, they know that leaving's the right choice.
Yep.
I think this is the song that they can just press play on and pack their bags.
Yeah, while they're packing, exactly right now.
Pack your bags, play it loud.
Yeah, down the road as you're leaving, play this. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then, no, I think it's a great song, and I think it's a great message because I think people sit on that shelf for too long and they end up wasting away years that they don't need to waste. So it's good.
Absolutely.
So March 6th is when it's released. Are you doing some shows? Have you got some shows coming up to?
I do. I have one on the 7th. So single launch, and then I've got some more coming up in the works. But just sort of focusing at the moment on recording and writing is my main area of where I spend my time.
That mean there's plan for more music coming this year?
For sure, there is like a backlog like you would not believe. There is so much music. It's just been, I don't know why it's been on the inside for so long, but I think I finally reached a point in my life where I have the confidence, but I also have the network of people around me, the right people to work with to help me make it happen. So I think that's key, because if I was trying to do this all by myself, it'd just be still me in my bedroom playing it on my guitar.
It doesn't work by yourself. It's a team thing. This whole
absolutely. You're only as strong as the team that you've got working with you, and I've got a pretty good team.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Beck.
Yeah. Beck is so many people's team. I don't know how music in Australia would go without her here.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I know, like I wouldn't go anywhere else. She's just a champion.
She's wonderful. Every day she puts up with me. Every day. Don't want to do this. Yes, you do. No, I don't.
We need that. We need our people that just convince us that we still should do the things that we said we wanted to.
No, she's been fantastic, and I think music's lucky to have her.
I think so.
So you've got a show coming up on the 7th for the single release. Can people get tickets to that? How do people? Is it sold out? What do we do?
The best way to find everything is through my social media channels or my website, which is michellcashman.com. So the website itself has the links to the tickets, other music, backstories, all sorts of other things. And then social media, obviously, I keep posting events and stuff on that. But I think with social media, a lot of the times, I don't know how the algorithms work or whatever, but you can really miss things. So the best way for me to communicate with people who want to know when I'm coming to their town or anything like that is just definitely get on my mailing list, because that's what I know for sure it's actually going to go to that person.
Yeah, that's on my list here, mailing list.
It's huge. It's huge, because I know if I press send on that, then all of those people get it. Whereas if I press post on social media, and I might have 2,000 followers and 4 people see that post.
That's right. That's exactly right. So if you
think of that post,
it's stupid, isn't it? It's so, and yet the one post that you do post, it doesn't really matter if people see or not. That'll be the one that everyone sees.
Oh yeah, of course. And they've shared it, and you're like, I had nothing to do with my music.
No, yeah. What were they doing? Not thinking. No. So to join your mailing list, they do that through your website. There's a tab on there. I saw that earlier, mailing list, so you can sign up, pop your email in there, and keep up to date with everything. But it's still worth following you on all your socials, I think, because people will see things pop up. So head over there.
Definitely see something.
Now, merchandise. Do you have some merchandise out at the moment?
I have some merchandise coming. So I have some T-shirts and hoodies coming, and I do have some actual physical CDs, which again it's at my website. So
excellent. So not this song though. That's coming out on. Is that going to be on?
Yeah, this song. No, I haven't got it out yet, but it'll be part of a release in the future.
Excellent.
Other than, obviously the digital streaming.
I'll be ordering a few of those, because I have a feeling once I give it to people to play as they're walking out the door, they're not giving it back. I need to.
Yeah, well, if it makes it into a CD player on repeat and it does the job, I'm very, very happy with that.
Yes, I think we need to tell the stories, let you know the stories as it happens. So 2020, you've got new music coming. Have you got are you doing a film clip for this song? Is there a plan for that sort of thing down the track?
Yes. It will be down the track, hopefully soon. I'm working with Duncan Toombs and the Filmery to do a clip it's just a matter of timing because the dates that I've given him don't work for him and the dates that he's given me don't work for me. So we're just still working out when we can do this. But, I mean, it'll be in a couple of months, but it'll still be happening.
And again, you'll be able to see that on social media and through the mailing list. So that's one to keep an eye out for, everyone. So if people head over to Google Play or iTunes or Spotify, they can find the single pre-order or pre-save to order that for you by Friday. And jump on over.
It's Friday. It's only a few days away now.
I was looking at that because I saw March 6th. No, hang on, we're in March.
I know, that happened quick, didn't it?
Yeah, and I thought, because I was writing all the notes down as I always do just before I go live, just to refresh my mind. And I thought, I booked this in the week of the release, but it's March. And then I looked, hang on, no, that was really silly. We're in March, so.
Yeah. You don't even need to know how bad I am with my calendar. I'm a trier. Yeah.
I'm just glad if I know it's morning or afternoon. I figure that's a win. So I'm happy with that. Don't ask me what day it is. And if I'm ever in an accident, they're going to assume I've had a head injury, regardless as to whether I have or not.
Don't ask me any of those questions that they usually ask in those circumstances. I know nothing.
And then they tell you, remember 3 things. No, if I can remember the 3 things, then you know there's something wrong. If I get them wrong.
Well, I work with people who are a bit more organised than I am, so that's also a handy tip. Just surround yourself with people who are smarter, more organised, and more talented, and you'll be right.
Yeah, then you're fine. Yeah. So what's some advice for somebody coming up that might want to start music when they're sitting at the bottom of that slide singing? What's some advice for those kids as they're coming through?
Oh, I would say definitely do the academy, the Country Music Academy in Tamworth. That is a huge stepping stone and you learn a lot, but more importantly, you find your tribe because, especially if you're a solo singer-songwriter, it is lonely. And if you're surrounded by people who don't do music, then they also don't get why you do what you do, and you find yourself quite always misunderstood and under-supported because, people don't quite get what you're doing. So how can they, give you a good push in the right direction because they don't know what that is. So having a good community around you who understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what you're doing next. I can't say that clear enough of how important that is. I've only just done the academy. I wish I did it, 15 years ago or 20 years ago even.
It would have been fantastic.
It was still fantastic. And I think, everything happens for a reason. And obviously the experiences that I've had up until now anyway, this is just the sort of the right time for me to move forward in this area. So
did you find going into academy with some of that experience, do you think that was beneficial as well, taking some of that in?
Yeah, I think I had a lot I had a lot of experience that I didn't need to sort of work on while I was there, which meant that I could focus on the things that were really important for me. Yes. So I didn't really need to learn necessarily how to play the guitar better or even, we did songwriting workshops still, and I wrote an amazing song with Melody Moko.
Yes.
And that was super valuable, but I didn't actually have to sort of unpack how a song is structured and those basic sort of things. So I had a little bit more headspace for when it came to the other side of things like marketing and production and really building my relationships.
Yep, that network, the family around, yes.
Yeah. And I think the people who have championed what I'm doing right now and really got behind it the most have been people that are either academy related or in the academy or that I've met through the academy. So I can't ask for more than that.
No,
I mean, I've met Beck through the academy, and if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be talking to you. So
that's right. She's amazing. Again. How much is she paying us to say all this?
I pay her the other way around. I pay her to give her a compliment.
She does a good job because your press release was very well written. No. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm starting to lose my voice again. I'm sorry. But thank you for joining us. And I'd love to grab those links off you and pop them in the comments for people to get after the show. So, guys, keep an eye out and we'll pop them in the comments and then we'll share them on the page again as well. So keep an eye out. But if you haven't already liked Michelle's page, jump over and like her Facebook page and check her website out for a mailing list. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, absolutely anytime. Well, we will see you guys. What day is it today? Monday. I think there's a possibility I might have another show coming this week, but it's not 100% confirmed yet. So as soon as it is, I'll pop it up. Otherwise, we'll be back on Monday next week. Thank you.
Thanks. See you later. Have a great night.